Tonight, stunning new revelations about those documents recovered from Mar-a-Lago. According to the New York Times, citing people briefed on the matter, more than 300 documents had classified markings. Some were handed over by former President Trump earlier this year. Others seized in that controversial FBI search of his home. All as the National Archives posted the letter it sent to Trump lawyers back in January after Mr. Trump had sent them 15 boxes of documents. The letter said the boxes included 100 classified documents, 700 pages in all, including up to the level of top secret.
Listen, I have been following Donald Trump's legal fights for years, but what happened today inside that Florida courtroom was something else entirely. President Donald Trump has now pleaded not guilty to 40 new felony counts connected to the classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago. He says he did absolutely nothing wrong, but prosecutors have now introduced a stunning piece of evidence, a secret surveillance tape that they say captures him directly in the act. When it was played in court, the entire room fell into a deadly silence. No objections, no explanations, no political spin, just the sound of Trump's own voice becoming part of the case against him. You need to hear this. If you are tired of the spin and want the real story behind the headlines, hit that like button. And tell me in the comments, is this the moment Trump's legal house of cards finally starts falling apart, or do you see it another way? I am reading every comment. Now let's see the report showing the new felony counts and the alleged effort to destroy evidence.
Federal prosecutors called Donald Trump's co-conspirator. On Thursday, Walt Nauta, Trump's personal valet, entered a plea of not guilty to 6 felony counts in the classified documents case. Those counts include conspiracy to obstruct justice, false statements, and withholding and concealing documents. His arraignment was previously delayed twice because Nauta claimed he could not retain local counsel. But he now has new Florida representation. And if you're wondering who would hitch their wagon to this, a 34-year-old attorney from Fort Pierce, Florida. Sasha Dayton is a former state public defender, and her firm website focuses on domestic violence injunctions.
Now let's go straight to the facts. Donald Trump is facing criminal charges in 3 separate jurisdictions, and a 4th may be coming soon. He did not show up in court this morning, but his alleged co-conspirators did. Prosecutors say Trump and his staff tried to destroy security camera footage before investigators could get their hands on it. His lawyers entered a not guilty plea for him, and his personal aide, Walt Nauta, entered the same plea. Let me make this clear. This is not just another courtroom drama. This is a former president being accused of trying to wipe out evidence while under federal investigation. The man who built his political brand around law and order is now fighting for his own freedom. If these direct, fact-focused breakdowns help you understand what is really going on, hit the bell so you do not miss what happens next, because this story is far from finished. This next clip shows the moment prosecutors said the defense started to fall apart.
Handling of classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago. 3 additional charges have been added to the federal indictment, including illegally retaining national defense information and obstruction. Special counsel Jack Smith laying out accusations accusing the former president of asking an employee to delete security camera footage allegedly to obstruct the federal investigation into sensitive national security documents that were brought to Mar-a-Lago. The Trump campaign issuing a statement calling it a continued illegal witch hunt. And tonight we're also learning a 3rd person is being charged in this case. Our WPTV's Joe Lopez begins our team coverage in studio with more. Joel.
Former U.S. President Donald Trump says he did nothing wrong after prosecutors added new charges in the classified documents investigation. They accuse him of attempting to destroy evidence. According to prosecutors, he asked a maintenance worker to delete security camera video, while Trump insists he turned the tapes over to investigators. He had already pleaded not guilty to 37 other charges in this case. What you just heard is the moment the defense started to fall apart. On February 14, 2026, Judge Arthur Engram played surveillance footage in open court that Trump and his team had allegedly tried to keep hidden. The video shows Trump explicitly ordering staff to delete security camera footage and destroy evidence after subpoenas had already been issued. Trump continues to claim he handed over the tapes. But the courtroom did not appear to accept that explanation. For 45 full seconds, the room was silent. No attorney moved, no objection was raised. Just the cold reality of a former president allegedly caught on camera trying to erase the truth. Now watch how the timing of the alleged server destruction made the evidence even more damaging.
Donald Trump, the Republican nominee and potentially the presidency, if it's seen as some sort of massive overreach and not something incredibly serious, this is a very good day for Donald Trump. And by the way, he knows how to play this up in his favor. He more or less broke this news. It was
He did break it.
I believe, yeah, a Florida-based reporter had something, but he was ready to go. And I've actually seen quite sort of aligned messaging among Republicans. This is, a banana republic. This shouldn't happen. If they do it to the president, the FBI will do it to you. I think he's having a good day as of now. So I hope DOJ's buttoned up on this.
This is not spin. This is the kind of evidence that can change everything. The clip you just saw is extremely damaging for Trump. It was recorded only hours after federal subpoenas were issued ordering that all evidence be preserved. And yet, according to prosecutors, there he is on camera telling Walt Natata to destroy the servers, erase the files, and make the security footage disappear. This was not some unclear comment or vague suggestion. These were direct instructions that prosecutors are treating as criminal, and the timing makes it even worse. At the same time the Epstein files were being released, the very servers Trump allegedly wanted wiped may have contained records linking him to Epstein and to the classified documents he claimed he did not have. This is a former president allegedly caught in real time trying to obstruct justice. No denial can remove what the camera captured. Here is where Susie Wilds becomes central to the case prosecutors are building.
New FBI records connected to late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein are renewing questions about what federal investigators were told and what may still remain hidden. According to an FBI tip received in August 2020, a source claimed that video recordings existed involving Jeffrey Epstein, his longtime associate and girlfriend Ghislaine Maxwell, and high-profile political figures, including former President Bill Clinton and incumbent Donald Trump. These claims were provided to federal authorities but have never been publicly confirmed.
This is where the story becomes even more damaging for Trump. Susie Wilds is not just a random staff member. She has been close to Trump for years. She is one of his strongest loyalists, his 2024 campaign manager, and now his White House chief of staff. She is one of the people he trusts most. And now, her own words and her presence in official records are becoming some of the most serious evidence against him. In newly released documents from March 2026, prosecutors confirmed that Susie Wilds was on Trump's private plane when he allegedly showed a highly classified map, a document so sensitive that only 6 people in the entire U.S. government were allowed to see it. She was there. She witnessed it. But what makes this so dangerous is how it connects to the server destruction video we just discussed. Those same servers Trump allegedly ordered wiped contained exactly the kind of records that could connect the classified documents case to the Epstein files. This part explains why Wilds' own words could create a serious problem for Trump's defense.
President Trump is standing by his White House chief of staff after a series of striking interviews with Vanity Fair. Susie Wilds providing a rare window into the West Wing, describing the president as having an alcoholic's personality, saying Trump, who does not drink, operates with a view that there's nothing he can't do. Nothing, zero, nothing. Then going on to label Vice President J.D. Vance a conspiracy theorist for a decade, describing his transformation from Trump critic to supporter as sort of political. Vance brushing it off.
And Susie Wilds has already admitted publicly that she read the Epstein file. In her Vanity Fair interview, she confirmed that Trump appears in the file, that he was on Epstein's plane, and that his name appears on the manifest. She tried to reduce the damage by saying he was not doing anything awful, but once those words were out, the damage was already done. The person Trump trusts most inside his circle has now given prosecutors a direct link between Trump, the files, and the alleged cover-up. Think about the timeline. Trump receives subpoenas demanding that evidence be preserved. Hours later, he is allegedly on camera telling Natata to erase everything. At the same time, the woman running his White House had already seen the classified material and the Epstein documents that may have been stored on those very servers. This does not look like coincidence. This looks like the inner circle beginning to fracture. Now see how Trump's closest loyalist becomes part of the evidence trail.
We have breaking news this hour. Donald Trump is facing additional charges over his alleged mishandling of classified documents. Our Sky News Washington correspondent Annalise Nielsen joins us live now. Annalise, what's the latest here?
Well, the latest is that prosecutors have filed an additional 60-page addendum to the original indictment, and in that they've detailed additional charges not only against Donald Trump and his staff member Walt Nauta, but an additional person who is the facilities manager at Mar-a-Lago. The accusation here is that there was videotape footage.
The person Trump depends on to shield him is now, whether intentionally or not, becoming the connecting point that makes the obstruction case far more difficult for him to escape. I have watched Trump's team for years. He has always loved talking about loyal people, but when your most loyal lieutenant becomes a direct witness to both the classified leaks and the Epstein connections, loyalty is no longer protection. It becomes liability. The Mar-a-Lago footage was not simply a moment of panic. It was Trump allegedly trying to bury something that even the people closest to him had already seen, and that more than anything shows how desperate and isolated he has become. Finally, this part shows how separate scandals begin to look like one connected legal disaster. This is where Trump's entire structure begins falling apart from within. Susie Wiles is not a low-ranking aide. She is the ultimate insider. She is his longtime campaign manager, the woman who ran his 2024 campaign, and now his White House chief of staff. For years, Trump has described her as one of his most loyal people. But today, that loyalty is becoming a serious legal problem. According to documents unsealed in March 2026 by the Department of Justice and the House Judiciary Committee, Susie Wiles was physically present on Trump's private plane when he took out and displayed a highly classified military map, a document so restricted that only 6 senior officials in the United States government were cleared to view it. She saw it with her own eyes. Now connect that to the surveillance video. The servers Trump allegedly ordered destroyed on camera contained the digital records that could tie the illegal retention of classified documents to the Epstein files. And Susie Wiles has already admitted under pressure that she read the Epstein file. In a recorded interview, she confirmed that Trump's name appears in it, that he flew on Epstein's plane multiple times, and that she knew about the connections. Of course, she tried to downplay it, but the words are now part of the record. Trump's most trusted insider has become a living connection between the classified documents case, the alleged obstruction effort, and the Epstein scandal. Let's be brutally honest about what prosecutors are arguing. Trump allegedly ordered those servers wiped just hours after receiving subpoenas because he knew what they contained, and the person closest to him had already seen the material. That is not bad timing. That is a catastrophic mistake. The very woman Trump relies on to manage crisis and damage control is now giving prosecutors the connective thread they need to turn separate scandals into one much larger case. I have studied Trump's inner circle for a long time. He always brags about loyalty, but when your most loyal person confirms key pieces of both the classified document issue and the Epstein connection, loyalty stops being an advantage and starts becoming evidence. This video was not just panic. It was an attempt to erase something that even his closest people had already witnessed and documented. The walls are closing in, and some of those walls are being built by the very people Trump trusted most. And that is the real meaning behind the silence in that Florida courtroom. What happened there was more than another bad legal day for Donald Trump. It was a rare moment where evidence cut through years of denial, delay, and deflection. A former president allegedly caught on camera giving direct orders to destroy records at the exact moment the law required those records to be preserved. Backed by his own inner circle, time-stamped and difficult to explain away, this case has now moved beyond ordinary political debate. It has become a basic test of whether any American, no matter how powerful, famous, or defiant, can still be held accountable under the law. Those 45 seconds of silence inside the courtroom said more than any press conference, campaign rally, or social media post ever could. It was the sound of a carefully built political narrative crashing into hard evidence. As someone who has followed these developments closely for years, I believe we are watching history happen in real time. Not because of hatred, not because of hype, but because the evidence has become too serious to ignore. If this matters to you, if you care about the strength of our institutions and the principle that no one stands above the law, stay with us here at US Focus today. Hit the like button if you value honest, detailed analysis like this. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next important chapter as this story continues to unfold. And I truly want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us. In a noisy world filled with spin, we remain committed to cutting through it calmly, factually, and without apology. This is U.S. Focus Today, where the truth still matters. I will see you in the next one.